Hello, everyone. I don't really know why I start talking like that when I get on camera, but I don't know. But I want to talk to you about my stage play. Here is the flyer. If you can see it, maybe a little blurry. It's called Legacy the Stage Play. Premiere November the 17th, 2016. Door open at 5. Show starts at 6. And we are looking for African culture vendors. What is Legacy the Stage Play about? It's the big question everybody would like to know who's not involved with it. Legacy is about uncovering and restoring the beautiful legacy of Black people. We're doing this play because a lot of our youth, even adults today, don't really know our history because so much of it is hidden. And in today's world, the more they dig, the more the blacker the world gets. And I think it's absolutely amazing, the information that I know that I constantly read into that, it may be difficult for some children to kind of get to, depending on their environment. And so the stage play, the characters alone in the stage play, is actually going to be one of the first educational stage plays. However, the characters that we created, we have an all-Black cast. And the cast characteristics is from all the type of people that I see in the Black community. So some of those strong Black women, those strong Black men, we got the coons, we got the silly ones. We got the children that's just kind of wild and active that we don't know what to do with. We got the sneaky women, the sneaky men. We have the youth in the stage play, and it's so much fun just practicing and just seeing it comes together. But first, something is telling me to tell you about when it first was created. So, I was on a job, and it was a night shift job. And I know this may sound crazy because I did fall asleep there. However, it was a really good nap, and it was powerful enough to make me do this. So I was looking at this video of this young boy and following. It was some police that approached him, and they just started jumping on him. It was a pure lynching. And I'm a poet, and I do a lot of writing, so anytime I get the opportunity to just write, I just go for it. And I was just like talking to my spirit, like, just let it come to me. If I can create any type of change or teach anything or have people understand why this is happening, let it come to me. And so I cried for about an hour, and I went to sleep. It was about 2 o'clock. I remember falling asleep. And I woke up at about 3 something. I think it was like 3:15. And I remember because I remember getting a weird paragraph from this guy in some other country about some crazy stuff. The ladies know what I'm talking about. And after I got up, something just told me to write. So I started writing, and it just, my energy was just so high, my emotions was high, I still was crying, and I just started writing. I was writing, usually when I start writing, I write random words. And I started writing words, and it all came to different stuff, and then it all came together. And within that, those words, this is what actually came out of it. I'm looking into my phone right now because I can't remember it by heart. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give it a go because this has been implanted in my mind. This is actually going to be the narrator in the first part of my stage play. Surrounded by mirrors of hard, distorted glass. Traces of blood everywhere from the pieces of lies and secrets crushing under our feet. Trying to figure out who we are and where we came from has led us into darkness. Ironically, our darkness is also our light. sold and trapped into lies as raw materials by people who knew who we were. And because of this humiliating and demoralized effect on people of African descent, our origin has been lost. The true warriors, creators, mathematicians, scientists, healers, and warriors of righteous civilizations may be lost, but never forgotten. So come join us as we discover this journey until our renowned legacy. Now, I think it's something like that. I hope I drew all of those emotions in right now because I just absolutely love that part. And after that, I written that part, I think about an hour and I think about an hour and 23 or something minutes later, I had 68 pages written out. And I was absolutely amazed because I was just like, oh my God, did I really just write this? And I had to flip back through the pages, and it was like, first it was a book, and then it kind of went to characters, and then, I had to go back and make changes. But in 1 hour, I typed up 68 pages off of my emotions. You talking about law of attraction, And another thing that I really kind of want to talk about too with this stage play is that it's one thing that I haven't been talking about a lot, and I just kind of want to open up about it. It's really kind of hard, so excuse me if I kind of start crying or anything. One thing that's really important for me to talk about in our community is sexual abuse, molestation, and rape. A lot of people always say, don't talk to strangers. But how often do they tell you you have to be careful around what family members you're around? You have to be careful whose lap you sit on. You have to be careful about who's giving that child too much money, too much candy, too much attention. It never says that. We just only says, well, our family only says what happened in the family stays in the family. And then you're just thinking whatever trauma that you're going through have to stay within you. In this play, I have one of my characters. He's a male character, and he's playing a homosexual man who is a Catholic, and he's been forced into the religion because of his family. And because of this forcement, he was raped by his uncle, who's also the pastor of the church, or the priest. And throughout the story, we have a poetry scene where some of the characters is doing some of the poetry that I've written, and they're revealing, why is it important in an artistic way to talk about your abuse. And for example, with me, I've been abused for maybe about 3 or 4 years of my life, and it was kind of shot because I was a child as it happened, and I had to learn through the rest of my life of what it did to me. Now, we was molested by somebody that wasn't our family, but he was a boyfriend to somebody we was living with, and we really think that the abuse perpetuated because it was never stopped, even when we told about it. And it was really scary, you kind of blame it on yourself. You're trying to figure out, what to say, how to say it when you got so much anger inside of you, and you're just trying to figure out why does it happen to you. Every night for a long time, as I can remember, I was molested. And I couldn't figure out what exactly was going on. I just knew I was scared, and the abuse came with weapons. It came with insulting us. It came with threatening us to kill us, and and it was just something really hard, and it's something I would never wish on anybody. Now, I know it's kind of hard to say. Well, this is one thing before I say that, is that anytime we were abused, right after, we were rewarded with money or candy, or maybe sometimes a pat on the head if we was good enough. And It just have to be one of the most hardest things that I have been through in my life. But it has also shone a light on me because it gave me the ability to understand how our society, definitely in the Black community, we are hurt. And this is not just in the Black community, this is in a whole bunch of communities. You know, just not talk about it because all of humans just kind of keep this family secret, this horrendous thing that tears people away piece by piece. And with me growing up, I always liked candy, and I never could figure out, reasons why I like candy. And I kind of just had to, when I became more spiritual, I just talking to myself, meditating, trying to figure out different things, and having developing certain infections because of sugar in my body. I had to try to figure out, what is the root of this? And I had to think about any time I ate sweets, what made me want to eat sweets, after I ate it, how I felt. And I felt like I took it back to my childhood. That anytime something went wrong with me or something that hurt my feelings, I had to eat candy because that was the only way out. And I realized that I was still being a child that was within me. And, that's not really something easy to deal with. You go through depression. You go through with some people go through sex change. Some people go through this diversion where they want to be with the same sex because the other sex has completely shied them away from any compatibility with being in a relationship. You have suicidal thoughts. There was plenty of times I had suicidal thoughts as a kid, but it was one thing about myself being a child that I just find absolutely amazing. Every night that this would happen to me, for during the time it was happening to me, being a child, I was still kind of like conscious about the future. And it was really weird because I remember after the incidents that I would look out the window, and we stayed in the projects at the time, or this type of building that just high, and it was always pissy, so I'm saying it's a project. And it was always this star that was available for me to talk to. And I just said, I'm just going to be somebody who's going to help this not happen to somebody. I'm just going to be so amazing that kids is just not going to go through this. And I always said it, and I was like, life is going to be amazing. And I just remember even sometimes going to school, watching the kids play, and was thinking that how could they play at the time when life is just so serious? You can imagine like a 6-year-old thinking this, like, life is amazing. Why life has got to be something more. Why are we just sitting here playing? This is serious, And it almost like it took the play out of me, and that's what happens to a lot of us. We get away from this playful or this life that's within us, and we get away from life and we just start maintaining with life. We're not living anymore. Excuse me. We just go through with what life give us. We're not taking ownership of what's going to happen in our life. And usually when stuff like this happen to us, when we're abused any type of way, mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually, it take control of your life until you learn how to take control of it yourself. You will always give yourself excuses. You will always say these things are going to happen. And since the law of attraction of your tongue is so strong, and you know it because your grandmothers always say, and plus the tongue is the strongest muscle in your body, that whatever you speak of is going to come. And if you one of those people that been abused and you still hurt by it, and most of the time it's people who's close to us, fathers, uncles, brothers, even mothers. You just have to keep putting it in, like, this, I'm going to get healed through this. I'm going to survive, because you have to survive your thoughts. You have to survive your actions. You have to get through with bringing people in your life who were like the abusers, because we do that a lot. And to migrate back to my stage play, that is exactly my message. You know, we have became this type of people because how society had wanted to paint this picture of us. But that's not our picture. We have the opportunity to paint our own picture. And I'm going to put it in the world that that's exactly what we're going to do, even if I have to start it from just this one stage play. But I would love for you all guys to come and see the stage play. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Remember, Legacy the stage play, November the 17th. It looks a little blurry. You see the amazing King Tut here? This amazing young black man that a lot of people don't know he was even black. November the 17th. Doors open at 5. Show starts at 6. I am going to be acting into the show, and I'm going to be doing about 2 or 3 roles. Yeah, it's going to be like Eddie Murphy. But I would love for you guys to come out. Peace and blessings, everyone. Peace.